Today we're going to talk about the novel Flipped. Many people might think of it as a story about beautiful love, but it is much more than that. It is also a work that explores the meaning of life and personal growth. Although some classifications might label this book as a young adult novel because it superficially depicts the beautiful emotions of teenagers, in reality, it is a novel written for adults, helping them to regain the innocence and love they have lost. People in their 20s, 30s, or even 40s can find resonance in this book. For teenagers, the style of this book is particularly refreshing. It is not just about the depiction of love. In fact, the core of this book is about the initial growth of life, exploring the growth and confusion of adolescence, and discussing how to better understand oneself and the world. In this sense, Flipped is also a particularly enlightening novel. Background of creation: the middle-class urbanization in America. The story opens with a scene. At the beginning of second grade, the protagonist, Bryce Loski, and his family move into a new home. The plot of the family moving carries deep meaning. After World War II, especially in the 1950s, the development of American cities had a distinct characteristic: the trend of middle-class urbanization. One of the features of this urbanization is that the business district becomes the core of a city, surrounded by a second layer of service areas, where various professionals serving the core business district, such as cleaners, movers, and electricians, gather. The next layer is a larger commercial area, filled with numerous shops. Finally, the fourth layer consists of residential areas, characterized by rows of single-family homes that were built in large numbers across America. One of the geographical characteristics of America is its vast land and sparse population, which leads Americans to prefer spacious living spaces. A family typically owns a house and usually has 2 cars. Many young people start by renting a place, and by the time they are in their mid-30s, they often purchase a house in the residential area of the fourth layer. On the day Bryce moves, he unexpectedly meets the girl next door, Julianna Baker. Julie is also at the beginning of second grade, and she feels very happy to see Bryce's family arrive. She falls in love with Bryce at first sight, especially captivated by his eyes. One of Bryce's distinctive features is his particularly attractive eyes. Although his life may be quite simple, Julie imagines that a boy with such lively eyes must have a rich and appealing life. This somewhat reflects the significant blind spots girls have in understanding boys, which is a cognitive difference that exists between genders from a young age. Driven by her inner feelings, Julie takes a strong interest in Bryce and actively helps move things, enthusiastically carrying this and that. As a boy, Bryce is quite surprised by a girl suddenly rushing towards him. From childhood, males have a common instinct to dislike women who lack a sense of boundaries. Before a male has clearly expressed his feelings for a female, he hopes she'll maintain an appropriate social distance. This instinct is evident from a young age, so boys tend to instinctively avoid girls who overstep boundaries in conversation and behavior, sometimes hinting at the need for distance through a cold attitude. Faced with Julie's enthusiasm, Bryce is clearly taken aback, so he instinctively wants to evade her. When he sees Julie still eagerly chasing after him, he quickly jumps out of the car and runs towards the house, but Julie continues to pursue him. When Bryce tries to shake Julie off with his hand, he accidentally holds her hand, leading Julie to think he wants to kiss her. This thought is almost impossible for a young boy, as at this age, girls are usually 2 or 3 years more mature than boys. Just then, Bryce's mother walks from the room to the porch, and Bryce, frightened, quickly hides behind her.